Kill that house!
The Deadly Cowboys. How one outlaw gang took over the Wild West with fear, violence, and bloodshed. Saddle up and prepare for an incredible Wild West adventure. Join us as we explore a wild planet where danger lurks around every turn and the human spirit shines brightest in adversity. Welcome to the Deadly Cowboys. How one outlaw gang took over the Wild West with fear, violence, and bloodshed. Once upon a time in the Wild West. Picture it, the American Wild West, the late 1800s, a realm of untamed beauty where open prairies kissed azure skies and mountains cut jagged silhouettes against the setting sun. Buffalo roamed freely. The air was filled with whispers of untold stories. But beyond this serene facade, the reality was harsh. The West was a land of survival, where folks haggled with destiny daily. Law, more of an aspiration than a reality. The sheriff's reach was thin, often overpowered by the sheer vastness of the land. The towns, well, they were lively. Saloons at every corner, brimming with hard liquor and hardier tales. Horses tied up out front, telegraph poles humming with news from distant places. The buzz of everyday life, the carpenter, the blacksmith, the barber. Folks are living simply, trying to carve out a piece of the American dream. But amid this budding civilization, a storm was brewing. A storm on horseback, draped in dust and danger. They were coming, an outlaw gang known only as the Deadly Cowboys. Little did folks know, these strangers were about to turn their lives upside down. The arrival of the Deadly Cowboys. A bright, bustling day in the Wild West. Townsfolk were tending to their daily hustle when the earth began to tremble. Horses whinny, dogs growl, and the birds scatter. The air tenses. What's going on? A cloud of dust in the distance, and then they appear. Emerging from the dusty haze, a group of men. Rough around the edges, grim looks on their faces. These are not your regular travelers. These are the Deadly Cowboys. Now let's paint a picture of these fellas. An outlaw gang, 15 strong, all armed to the teeth, riding their horses like they got a pact with the devil himself. Each with a story that sent chills down your spine. All wrapped up in a mantle of fear and respect. A force, let me tell you, that was about to redefine deadly in the Wild West. They ride into town, silent as the grave, their horses' hooves clapping grimly on the cobblestone streets. You could almost taste the fear in the air. The city goes silent. Mothers clutching their children, men grabbing their tools tighter. Everybody knows the Deadly Cowboys don't mean good news. Bank heists, stagecoach robberies, and even cold-blooded murder. Their exploits were legendary, their reputation preceding them wherever they went. The Deadly Cowboys were not just a gang, but a chilling reminder of lawlessness, violence, and the Wild West at its wildest. The reign of fear begins. Once filled with laughter and hope, the town now crouches under the shadow of the Deadly Cowboys. With their arrival, a storm of terror descends upon the unsuspecting folk. The reign of fear has begun. The Cowboys wasted no time. They displayed their might with aggression. Their rage caused widespread damage. The townspeople shuddered, fearing these terrible criminals. Day by day, violence consumed the once peaceful streets. The Cowboys reveled in their control, their dominance unchallenged. The townspeople were caught in a web of terror, their dreams shattered by their relentless brutality. Blood was spilled, my friends, more than the parched earth could bear. Shootouts became a grim routine, a twisted dance of life and death. The echoes of gunshots haunted every corner, a constant reminder of the Cowboys' grip on the town. But let me tell you, amidst this reign of fear, flickers of hope started to emerge. A few brave souls refused to surrender, tired of living in the shadow of terror. They formed a resistance, a flickering flame of defiance. The silent majority. All right, folks, gather round because we're diving into a tale of fear, courage, and the power of the silent majority. The townsfolk were trapped in a web of helplessness in the face of the Deadly Cowboys' reign. But even in silence, a quiet plea for justice echoed through the streets. The once vibrant town is now shrouded in fear. The majority, living in the shadows, fearful of the Cowboys' wrath. They were the silent majority, hoping for a hero, a glimmer of light in the darkest times. As the Cowboys ruled with an iron fist, the people lived in constant fear, their voices suppressed. But make no mistake, their hearts yearned for freedom beneath their silence. Resiliently like the wild horses that roamed the plains, their spirit longed for liberation. These townsfolk, my friends, were not weak. They were waiting for the right moment, for the tides to turn in their favor. They knew that unity was their strength and a revolution was brewing in their silence. The silent majority, fueled by their shared pain, whispered among themselves. They sought solace in their common struggle, slowly building the courage to challenge the Cowboys' rule. They knew it was time to break the chains of fear and reclaim their town. And so, my friends, watch closely as the silent majority awakens. Witness their transformation from fear-stricken bystanders to champions of justice. The power of unity and the strength of their collective voice will pave the way for a new chapter in the Wild West. The law turns a blind eye. Today, we're diving into a chapter of the Wild West that'll leave you in disbelief. It's time to shine a light on a dark truth: the law enforcement's complacency in the face of the Deadly Cowboys' reign. Prepare for a jaw-dropping tale of negligence and the consequences of turning a blind eye. Now imagine this, my friends: the Cowboys running rampant, wreaking havoc on the town, and what does the law do? Well, not much, I'm afraid. The law, supposed to protect and serve, took an extended siesta. The law enforcement, overwhelmed or simply lacking the will, failed the townsfolk when they needed them the most. It turned a blind eye, leaving the citizens to fend for themselves against the relentless terror of the Cowboys. It's a puzzling reality, my friends. How could the law, sworn to uphold justice, let fear and violence take hold of their jurisdiction? The people entrusted with maintaining law and order lost their way. While the Cowboys roamed free, the townsfolk were left to navigate a treacherous landscape on their own. They were abandoned and forced to seek justice and protect what little they had left. The law's absence became painfully evident, leaving scars deep within the community. But remember, my friends, where there's darkness, there's also a glimmer of hope. Without a protecting hand, the spirit of resilience began to grow within the hearts of the townsfolk. They realized that sometimes they had to be their saviors, standing up against injustice and reclaiming their town. The Epic Confrontation. The tension hangs heavy as the town prepares for the Epic Confrontation. The Lone Ranger stands tall, rallying and inspiring the people with his unwavering resolve. They know the risks, but they refuse to back down. The showdown begins, my friends, with a clash of steel and the crack of gunfire. Fearful and fearless, the townspeople fight the Cowboys to recapture their town from danger. It's a fight for justice and will. The Lone Ranger leads the charge, his every move calculated, his every strike precise. Once feared and untouchable, the Cowboys face a formidable opponent in this lone hero and his united force. Each encounter brings them closer to victory or defeat. The air fills with the sounds of battle, the shouts, and the cries of those fighting for their freedom. The outcome hangs in the balance as the forces clash, unwilling to yield. Friends, this is a reckoning. Resilience and the human spirit at its best. It's a war for the town's soul, where every punch and shot represents a brighter future. Think about subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to be the first to hear about new engaging content that will transport you on unforgettable trips. Don't miss future thrills. Finally, let us know. Comment below on the Deadly Cowboys and your favorite moments. We appreciate your comments and talking to our amazing viewers. So like, subscribe, and join the conversation. Let's keep exploring the fascinating realms of history, storytelling, and the boundless human spirit together. Thank you for being so supportive, and until next time, stay curious and keep embracing the thrill of the unknown.